we're in the bowling alley, and my girl shows me the text message. And I'm like, all right, that's crazy. So I'll go around and start walking around main event, and I'm looking for these dudes. And I just see them playing a little gun game. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. So I go up to him, and he sees me. He makes eye contact, and he just shit breaks. Like, you can just tell. You know what? Have you ever looked at motherfucker in his eyes, and you just know he's scared? So yes. At that point, I'm like, I feel like I don't even got to say anything. So I push his homie out of the way, and he gets caught up on the cord from the freaking gun that he's playing with. And he's like, dude, what the fuck? And I'm like, shut up with your busted ass roasties. Like, and then I look at his friend. It's like, hey, bro, that's fucking crazy because, I just saw some crazy text messages that you sent to my girl. So
crazy text messages.
So you got two choices right now. We can either deal with it right now, or you can come with me and you apologize. Bro, that's crazy, bro. I started saying all the excuses.
Yeah.
So long story short, this motherfucker starts following me to go apologize. And I told his friends, yo, you two bitches stay here, or y'all gonna be the first ones to get your ass kicked.
Hey, we got a fighter in the building. For the hashtag I Am Who I Am podcast, episode 55.
55.
Hey, this a young dude, man. He young, but he got an old soul. For real. So, man, introduce yourself to the people, cuz. Let them know who you are, man. They done heard a little bit about your situation with when you was about to have to unleash on somebody.
Hopefully, that won't just be haymakers and throwing. There's a lot of technique that can be thrown here. 2 wins and 1 defeat. He's from KMAA in Knoxville, Tennessee. Let's give it up for Rodrigo Martinez.
But let them know who you are, though.
So shout out to everybody watching. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
My name is Drigo, or actually Rodrigo, but I go by Drigo. I work at AT&T. I'm a U.S. Marine and an amateur fighter. Well, I haven't been here for a year, but, still a fighter at heart.
Man, I ain't never seen him lose a fight. I'd have been to some fights, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen him take an L, so it won't be long before he's professional if that's the route he chooses to take.
That's fair. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, I
Absolutely.
believe that, man. I really do, man. And so to kind of get started, man, just let them know where you're from. Let them know the name Drigo. My audience may not know a name like Drigo. Did I say it right?
Most people don't know. Yeah, you did say
Okay. So my audience may not know a name like Drigo. So let them know where you're from. Let them know how you got into fighting, and let them know what happened before you got into fighting.
So I'm originally from El Salvador. Mom moved me over here when I was 9. We moved to Tampa. Grew up over there. Then she got remarried. Moved to Tennessee. It's a small ass town. I wasn't really sure about how I felt about that country, small town vibe. That was something new for me. So moved down to Knoxville. Got into, I always been about MMA, wrestling high school, boxed. And I got into MMA. I thought I was like, man, this is dope. I felt like it was honestly the best route as far as a career. Like, to most people, that shit didn't make sense.
Yeah.
But to me, I was like, man, this is my money route. So started fighting, started doing good. Did some grappling competitions. Won state in Naga.
So that's where you started with the grappling competitions?
Also, I started with wrestling.
And then it turned into grappling competitions.
Well, I started wrestling, and then I started boxing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I started wrestling. I was in the wrestling team in my high school.
Gotcha.
I got expelled from my high school.
Okay.
Then after I got expelled, I was like, well, shit. This alternative school don't really got like nothing but 700, actually about 100 students. So I was like, I got to figure something out to do. So I joined the gym down my corner. The dude was Puerto Rican and he knew how to box. Wow. Rowdy background.
Hey, won't he do it? Yeah, won't he do it?
So yeah, man. Pretty much like I said, we moved to Tennessee. I moved to Knoxville. Started training with KMAA and Frankie's Body Shop. One of the best gyms I ever thought. I learned everything from there. After that, I kind of just stayed in Knoxville. My mama moved back to Tampa. I kept fighting. And one day that was like, man, I felt like I want to do something more. And I joined the Marine Corps. And that's kind of like, that was actually kind of sporadic. I tried joining after high school, but some like really couldn't join when after high school. So it's just, it wasn't meant to be, man. I'm a very big believer on like, if it's not the right time, it's not the right time.
Yeah, I believe that too.
So
what's for you, you will get it.
Amen. That's exactly what my mama says, but in Spanish.
Yeah. I can dig it.
So, I just joined the Marine Corps. I kept, got a job at AT&T, paid very well.
Hey, we don't really mention corporations by name. I'm gonna leave that in there because this how I met them. But yeah, I'm listening though. Well, I mean, I just AT&T, man, it's sour with me, man. I grinded hard for them, and I didn't get what I thought I deserved. But that's another story. I ain't gonna diss them on here or nothing like that. That's fair. That's fair. Feminine. That's a feminine.
That's just where I work at.
Yeah. No disrespect.
It's my job.
No disrespect.
Yeah.
I was just letting you know. I know you didn't know. We don't really talk about corporations.
No. But if y'all need something, just
holler at him. AT&T. Holler at him. Yeah. Whatever you need. Holler at my man. He the realest with it. You know what I'm saying? Chico good too. He alright. Honestly, he. Dexter good too though. He good people.
But regardless, I just thought, like I said, joining the Marine Corps, man, that's probably one of the best experiences I ever had. Honestly, I went reserves just because of the fact that I wanted to keep making money in my job. Just, the amount of money that I'm making is like, as a young man coming from nothing, I was like, this is good for me. No college background, no high-end education, bachelor's or master's. I was like, I was making more than, I'm still making more than.
That's what a lot of people confuse about like working. Like when you feel like you're getting service, they feel like you're beneath them, but they don't realize like some people that you're getting service by are making bands.
No, and it's crazy that you said that because some clients that I work with, they go to high-end universities and they tell me all this, and it's like they don't tell me to stun on me. They just kind of tell me to let me know that I've done this and that, and I was like, that's crazy because at the end of the day it all comes down to numbers. I was like, I make this much, and they just look at me with awkward silence. It's like, that's really good.
No doubt about it.
I know.
Yeah, no doubt about that, man. No doubt about that.
But so like I said, I'm just staying at my job. Joining the Marine Corps, one of the best experiences ever. Sometimes I go back and forth whether I should have gone active or reserves. I like the reserve part because, like I said, I get the money that I'm making here. I get a break from my, everyday job, and I kind of just get to shoot, big, heavy machine guns. Like most people don't understand what a machine gun is. Like, shout out to all the old 331s, Marine Corps. Yeah.
That's heat. Is that heat?
That's heat, bro. That's the best job in the Marine Corps, hands down. I feel like the best, like the only thing that keeps me like, man, I should have gone active. It's like the homies, like the people you meet there. It's like, and the bond you make. It's like, I mean, you got to think about it. For 6 months straight, you're showering, shitting, eating, sleeping, standing, running next to a motherfucker you never met. And I feel like you get to know them like you know them for years.
I can dig that.
So it's like you get this bond that nobody else understands. And I'm like, it sucks that I got to say bye to this motherfucker. And like, he a real one.
Yeah, no doubt.
But
no doubt.
That's the only thing that I would say that keep me like, man, I should have gone active. I could have been in Hawaii with my boys. Shout out to all the boys from Alpha Company that are grinding it out over there in Hawaii.
For sure.
Yeah, thank you for your service. Appreciate it. So now that I'm here, though, I feel like life just opened up many doors.
Gotcha.
you know, like getting my job done, fighting, maybe moving up in the Corps. It's like many selections, but like that has definitely been one of the best experiences of my life, by far.
Man, I can dig that, man. That's that's deep because I mean, y'all are like, a lot of people think the police keep us safe, but like really, it's the military.
Yeah. Honestly,
I mean,
when it comes down to it, yeah, like, you know, you talk about the police are kind of like, you know,
I ain't knocking the police. That's not what I'm not. I'm not knocking them, but
they're sworn under the state, and they do their job. Well, they're supposed to do their job. Most of them do their job.
I understand. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. Like I said, me personally, you know, I work with a lot of police officers, whether it's at my job or whether it's in the Marine Corps. And I've met some outstanding police officers that really stand and obey by the law.
Yeah, I have to.
But, you know, in reality, yeah, we're the first ones on the call, you know what I mean? And not just the first ones on the call as far as, you know, the Marine Corps, anybody can have a different job. Like, you know, my job is to literally go on front lines. So, you know what I mean?
And that's why I even mentioned it, because I know you're on the front lines, like defending from whatever else. A lot of people look at like Men in Black, like the extraterrestrials coming and all that. I didn't hit the headphones, but nah, like it's really people like that's trying to come here and take what's ours every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think people really look at it past like Joe Blow down the street trying to take me for what's mine. But like no, there's like a whole country trying to take a country 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know
and see, and coming from a different country, like I feel like that opened up like my sight, because like I understand what a third world country is.
Yeah.
And I know what a first class country is.
Wow.
So, you know, being able to defend what we have here in the States is like amazing to me, you know, like that makes me proud, you know, because like a lot of people don't understand that most countries don't offer education, welfare, food stamps, like none of that exists. Yeah. Public education doesn't exist in other countries.
Right.
So for me, that was huge. And so being able to defend that even in a small way, you know what I mean? Like I know I'm on reserves and I do my part, but it's better than doing nothing, you know?
Gotcha. I can dig that. Well, to kind of lighten it up a little bit, like, wow, like, hey, vote, everybody support your troops, because it is real out here. Like, this is the United States of America. If you think that ain't the best retail store you've ever went to, you're crazy.
Yeah, just go bye-bye.
You're crazy. But so you know, like I see you. How old are you, young sir?
So I'm 25, man.
25.
And I feel like that's the type of age that I get to where like so
what?
So
like what? Now you trying to take it serious? You trying to take it serious?
No. Like I feel like I'm at an age where it depends on who I'm hanging around.
Yeah, you did. Yes.
I'm either old or young. So
what? He talking about them cosmetic problems.
Listen.
He talking about cosmetic problems.
I'm talking about general problems, because you hang around 19, 20-year-olds. I'm like, oh, wow, bro, you're old. Like, I didn't expect you to be that old. And I was like, yeah. You hang around 35 and over. I was like, oh, you a young cat. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know what you're about to do. Like, yeah, life is crazy. And I'm like, yeah. But I feel like I'm in the kind of like in the midlife where
I can dig
like
that.
I'm young and I'm old.
You ain't midlife though. You right before mid. Hey, you got a few years. You got like several centuries. You might have a century before mids.
Shit, it's the first time in my life that I experienced like someone calling me old or young.
I can dig that.
So
I can dig that.
That's how I feel like I'm in the midlife. But you know the thing is like I don't feel any difference. Like I feel like the only thing that makes a difference as far as like, you know,
being young and old,
yes, is my work ethic. Like, you know, like I feel like whenever I let go for a certain amount of time, let's say, you know, I don't do shit for a week.
Yes, sir.
That's how I feel. Wow. But if I grind it out for 2 weeks straight, I feel like I have the mindset. It's like the same mindset that I had when I was 17.
Gotcha.
So I feel like that's a lot of things that people missing, just the work ethic as far as like, it doesn't matter how old you are, because it could be a small goal, it could be a big goal, but like all that accumulates, whether you just kind of like a savings account, you put in pennies, you put in pennies, doesn't matter how long you put in the pennies for, but next thing you know, you got $1.
Wow.
And then that dollar becomes another $1, and that $2 becomes $4, and then you just keep multiplying. Next thing you know, is the grind what got you where you got. So it's like that's the crazy part. Like that's kind of why I feel like I'm in the mid-crisis. Not mid-crisis, more like mid-life. I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, I've seen what I've done. I can look back and see what I've done.
Yes.
And I can look forward and see what I'm gonna do.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can dig that. And I ain't trying to change the subject. And you can talk to them right there too if you ever want to. but I ain't trying to change the subject. I just want to get a little bit more light. Like we let's have a good time, because the grind is very important.
Yeah, that's a good time for me.
Word up. Well, let's talk about this Tinder app, man. So like, is it like you literally swipe left, you get 100% go, and swipe right is like 100% no? Talk to me about that, man. 'Cause I don't know nothing about that app, man. I don't know nothing about it, man.
So the beautiful thing about 2020, and what I
talk
said
to me about 2020, because everybody knocking 2020.
Well, I say this. Probably this is a 2018, 2017 kind of thing.
So it's been going on forever.
It's like social media. Social media is huge these days.
Yes.
It's like you could literally, like you said, get laid left or right.
Is that social media, or is that just Tinder, or is that every app?
Well, Tinder is part of social media because it's a media where you socialize.
Gotcha.
But it's straight about dick and pussy. So yeah, it's literally that's how it works. Actually, my girl was telling me about how girls were posting on Tinder their Amazon wish list. And motherfuckers that are 40 or 30 years old.
They don't be knocking us 40s and 30s, man. Don't be knocking us, man.
No.
Hey, don't be knocking us, man. We got to play our hand out here in these streets, man.
And that's cool. I get it.
And you got to play your hand out here in these streets.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? But they're putting their Amazon wish list or shopping cart, and these motherfuckers are buying it from them. So, you know what I mean? I feel like if anybody has an advantage these days, it's probably going to be females. Because if you got a fat ass and a cute face,
really,
you go viral. Let me know who you are, because I'm definitely going to go like.
So if somebody was going to ask you the close rate on Tinder, what's the close rate versus Facebook? And I mean, close, you know what I'm talking about, close rate. I ain't talking about like no hangers.
So I'll tell you this. A lot of girls in there are really mostly for attention.
No. Close rate.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm listening. A lot of girls are there for attention. So if I was to have a close rate, I would say probably there's about a 50-50 that you get laid.
Wow.
50-50. Just the reason why I say that is because you swipe on 10 girls. Mm-hmm. Actually, I'll probably say about 20% or 10%, because it's all about looks and what picture you post.
Yeah.
So I would say about 10%, 15%, maybe 20. Because out of 10 girls that you hit right, you might have 5 of them that you match with them. And this is just talking now from like...
just general. Yeah, just what you heard, what you may have heard about.
And out of those 5 girls, some of them just want to hear a fucking good-ass punchline. And if you got a good-ass pickup line, they might holler at you back. And then that might, just out of those 5 girls, 3 of them might like your punchline. And out of those 3 girls, 1 or 2 might be like, yeah, let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a good percentage, man.
Because that's the thing about these days. Like, there is no, I would say back in the day, and this is just based on the movies.
Back in the day, let me tell you about back in the day. We had live links. We had to get on the phone and be like, hey, it's Chad Rob, hey, I'm coming to y'all tonight live from the VIP, hey, just hit me up in my inbox if you want some information, you know what I mean? So that's how I come from, the strictly vocals.
So,
you know what I'm saying? Y'all got video cameras.
You got about 4 tries.
You got
about four tries. Like,
hold on, tell them that again because they might not have heard you.
You got
my youngsters out there, listen.
You got about 4 or 5 tries, whether you're gonna close it or not, because you got the pickup line, the reply, you got another freaking response, and then depending on what she says, that's gonna determine whether you get close or not. So in the 5th one, if you don't close, that's it.
Hey man, I'm the cameraman and the editor.
But regardless, you got 5 tries. Like, you know, I feel like that's what it is. You know, that's the close rate. And, you know, I'm more of an old school guy, whether I wasn't in the time. I'm more of like, yo, let me get to meet you. Let me get to know you, who you are. Just because shit too wild up here, bro. You never know. You get that 5 try and you thought you close on a good one, but fuck around, this bitch is fucking crazy.
Well, we ain't gonna go into that because we know they get loose. Something. Anyway, man. So talk to me about how you got into fighting because I've come to so where we're from, UFC is fairly new. Maybe the last 5-10 years.
Yeah,
maybe.
I would say that. So. After I got expelled, you know, college was an option. Really nothing that made sense as far as like college, you know, you have to have good grades, at least fucking C-base, or, you know, tech school. I don't really have a trade and I'm not the type of motherfucker that likes to work on cars. I know I look like it, but I'm not.
I wish I knew how to work on cars. I'd be working on a mother or whatever.
It's a dope trade, but it's just not for me. It's just not for me.
No, I can dig it.
So I was like, yo, this is fun. Training, sweating, you know, working out. I love you can relate.
Yeah, man, I love
weightlifting.
That's all I love to do. Man, I do that every day, all day.
Exactly. So that I love that. I love that the feeling, you know what I mean, when you just grind straight after a workout and you just look at yourself in the mirror and you're just like, damn, it's like a little high, bro. It's like a little high. So I feel like at first I didn't see it like that, and then I started seeing that as an opportunity. You know, you see some of the best fighters like Anderson Silva, you know, George St. Pierre, Rampage Jackson. It doesn't matter where you come from, but they had a professional image. So that professionalism made me seem like, damn, this is a career. This is more than just fighting. So I felt like I had a good career. So that's when I started pursuing it. I started going at it. I started training. And, you know, maybe at this time right now, maybe I haven't chased it like I was chasing it when I was like in my early 20s. But it's because I saw so many doors, though. Wow. It's the opening of the doors. But yeah, man, so I literally, after I got expelled, I was just like, man, what the fuck am I going to do? I was like, I could literally just go out here trying to be a wannabe gangster or whatever, you know? So I was just like, nah, man, I'd rather just, you know, go in there, work out. I love working out. I love, you know, training, fighting. So I was just working out. Next thing I know, it's like, fuck it, I'm going to make a career. And that's where I'm at right now, man. You know, I feel like this last year I kind of like took a break, joined the Marine Corps, been working at my job. And, you know, now I'm kind of like, there's always that itch, man. There's always that itch, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I don't want to let that itch go. I don't want to get to where I'm like 40 years old and thinking, man, fuck, I should have just done that.
Man, say that again, because that's what I'm dealing with right now. I'm fighting with myself. Like, I don't want to look back and be like, what if I would have tried?
Yeah, and that's you know, and that's something I personally notice. I don't want to be, you know, 40 and be thinking, man, I should have just done that. And that's when, like, you know,
that's heat.
2021, man, it's like I'm coming in hard, you know, like I have plans. I have a mindset that I want to set for myself, because the thing is, like, a mindset is not something you think from day to day. It's something that you have to set. It's like, what do you want? How are you going to do it? You got to set that mindset. You got to wire that shit. That shit is like a freaking, you know, like a puzzle, like a fucking 1,000-piece puzzle. If you never build a 1,000-piece puzzle, go build that shit. That shit will take a couple hours. That's how you got to wire your fucking mind.
Yes,
like,
sir.
You got to just think, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So, like, I feel like I can do all these things and build around it, like a foundation. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When you look at a square, that bitch got 4 corners. So you got to make what is that's going to make those 4 corners up. You know, you got to take 4 things, what is going to make those 4 corners. But that's where the fucking trick comes in.
Okay.
Because it's a pyramid. So you have your foundation, but what's your main goal? What's your main goal? So once you have built those strong ass foundation, you have a goal that you have to reach, and that's the thing that a lot of people miss. They start doing these things, then the pyramid don't get built right. If you miss something in a pyramid, that shit is gonna fall. That shit's gonna be crooked. That shit's not gonna look like a pyramid.
Yeah, ask the Egyptians.
Yeah,
I'm sure they know.
Yo, you see
sure
them
they
shits.
know.
I still ask myself, motherfuckers that going out there saying that there's Martians. They could be.
It could be.
They could be. You know what I'm saying? Like I never know.
Man, I ain't gonna knock nobody's. Whatever.
So it's like you look at those pyramids, like how the fuck they build that shit? They don't have no cranes. They don't have no fucking high end machinery.
Right.
Like how did they build that shit? Why? It's a foundation, and that's what I'm trying to build right now. It's like I feel like. I'm 25. I'm trying to make my own life, and the thing about a lot of people is that they get demotivated because they see
somebody else doing it.
These young cats doing such great things
behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or cats, and they think that can be a thing. So, what I understand is how to stay in my own lane. You know what I'm saying? I feel like age is not really a thing. You got to take that shit out of the fucking boat.
Yeah, you're right.
So once you take that out the boat and you just start seeing in your mindset and how you feel, that's when you start seeing like, hey, this is what I want. This is what it is. And I feel like that's what I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I feel like at first I was just seeing a fucking building. That's all I wanted. I wanted a building. Mm-hmm. But, a building is kind of like thin and strong. But, you fucking knock that bitch in the middle, that bitch goes down.
But, so talk to me about how when you knock them down, when it go down.
So
so every fight I went to, it was a TKO or is it a KO?
It was actually a submission.
See, I don't know. I'm a boxing fan. I don't know much about UFC.
Yo, surprisingly, man, I'm really nasty in my hands. But every time I fight, they always try to take me to the ground. They assume that I don't know how to wrestle or how to do jiu-jitsu. And, I learned from some strong motherfuckers like, old Vance. He's a top fucking fighter in the world.
Yes, sir.
About in the world. It's a pretty big fucking world. And, this motherfucker beat the brakes off me every single time. So when a motherfucker like that beats the brakes off you and you go out there against this other motherfucker that is not even nowhere close his level, it's kind of easy just to not to put someone to sleep.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And they would sleep every time.
Yeah, it's insane.
When I went and saw it.
It's insane when you feel like a body just like drop. Have you ever kind of imagine having a frozen balloon and you're walking with that bitch in your hands and you're holding it just straight out. Anybody that work out has ever hold something straight out and your arms start to shake. Your arms start to give, that lactic acid starts to build up. And then let's say you're just walking and you walk into a hot room and then the bitch is fucking feels like numb.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it feels, like when you put someone to sleep, it's like, it's this insane feeling. Like, I remember putting this kid to sleep and I was choking him through his fucking shoulder. Like, my head was underneath his armpit and my arm was over his head. And I just remember my coach just saying, squeeze. And I just squeezed so hard. Then I felt that fucking hard, ice cold balloon. And then out of a second, I just felt the whole balloon just wobble.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stop because this motherfucker dead. That's like, old man Lil Wayne said, I ain't a killer, but don't push me, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, yeah, he was done. But yeah, man, that's like I said, most of the time, I just submit guys. I have my my skill set. I haven't got to show it fully to the world, but hopefully 2021 is the year where I literally showcase my talent and I can grow and get better, even better every single year.
Man, let me tell y'all something. He's coming back for because we didn't get his top 5 rappers. We didn't get a lot of stuff from him. So he's coming back. Believe that. He's coming back. We're gonna do a round 2. But I gotta get the kids to basketball practice. So leave some comments, subscribe. Let me know if you feeling it. Because if you feeling it, he coming back like next episode. You know, because he got so much to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So like I just need some feedback. But let them know where they can find you. If they want to see whatever's going on with you, let them know. And
234 Hamilton Crossing Drive, Alcoa, Tennessee 37801. Just holler at me.
For sure.
You need some service. You need something.
And that's AT&T. How about it?
Oh, bro, what about the corporate?
Yeah, I know. Just because he's a great guest, he going to come back again when y'all leave them comments and y'all start following and thumbs up. But as always, this is the hashtag I Am Who I Am podcast. This is episode 55.
55.
Man, we working over here. Believe it. That's the Kimbe Mutombo. No. That's not the end. No. And as always, I'll be back. Yeah.
Deuce.
Choke submission out of the blue corner, Rodrigo Martinez.